And if you notice, our theme for this year was judicial awareness. It was well thought out because we have identified that even in our own judiciary, now for us, because we are isolated as people don't want us to be in public, you can even run mad and people will not know. Yeah, until you sentence someone to death who has come for a random matter, that's when they will know that you have gone berserk. So judicial awareness, you can see it's a process. So we want the prisoners to come to us when we are also well, when we can treat them well, when we are well in the head, and So, to the Ugandan police force, let us also be mindful that justice begins at the intake. You are the first point of contact in the criminal justice system. The success of the Global Fund program will depend on your ability to uphold human rights from the moment of the arrest. Be mindful that congested police cells may turn into breeding grounds for infection. Now, of course, I'm worried that this level of arrest, because at the police cells, I've also inspected police cells. In most cases, you find they are so congested, a tiny small room, because police is very easy to establish in a place. They will go there and set up a few offices. You can even operate in a makeshift, and then have a small place where they can keep prisoners, and in most cases they are congested. So please ensure that the suspect's health does not deteriorate before he or she even sees a magistrate. Always ensure that medical emergencies during custody are heeded with the urgency they deserve. Now, of course, there is a challenge here. I don't think that police can afford to have a medical officer at the point of entry. Every police station, I don't know, I stand to be corrected. I know the major ones, yes, but the small ones in the periphery may not. So I don't know how that can be handled, so that, as prisoners come in, they are checked. If someone has a TB, I don't know whether you keep him at the reception until maybe the following day when the person can be treated. I don't know. So to the prosecution, as you exercise the power of discretion to prosecute, always remember that your role is pivotal. I call upon you to always look beyond the case files. If a suspect has a chronic condition like HIV or TB, consider how this affects the speed of the trial. Use your discretion to prioritize cases involving vulnerable persons. Let us use this program effectively by ensuring that health-related barriers, such as the inability of a sick witness to travel, are removed through smart, health-conscious prosecution. That's why we introduced audiovisual, like in our courts, and at the same time, when we install in ours, we install in prisons. Some of these people who cannot come to court because they are ill, we can still have them tried. And of course, when it comes to bail conditions and all that, I think we need to look at this. If someone, for example, has TB, maybe that would be a person that would not oppose granting bail. As judiciary, we shall also ensure that our judicial officers are the gatekeepers of equity. We are mindful that the courts are the ultimate guarantors of rights to health. We shall sensitize and empower all our officers to be proactive and mindful about the physical well-being of their chosen persons appearing before them. We have also strengthened the use of pre-bargaining and alternative dispute resolution to not just to clear backlog, but to serve as a humanitarian tool in reducing the time that people spend in congested remand facilities and in our courts. Our strategy is clear: justice must be timely, or it is not justice at all. And this pre-bargaining, actually, our plan is to have it at the point of entry. For example, someone can bargain at the time of police. If someone admits an offense, we want to put it at that level whereby if there is a person admitting, the prosecution can work with the police, and the person is brought straight to court and and sentenced. We shouldn't wait for someone to be in for a long time and then then later we start pre-bargaining. To the Ghana Prison Services, you are the front line of care of those in conflict with the law. The Ghana Prison Services carries the heaviest burden of TV and HIV challenge. You are the managers of the most vulnerable across the community. Effectively use this program to support your efforts in screening, treatment, and nutrition. Of course, when it comes to nutrition, I know your limitations. You are not going to put these people on a special diet, and yet you don't even have resources to procure the beans for the rest. But I understand your challenges in this area. But ordinarily, such people would be put on a different form of diet. Although your meals have really improved. I remember when I just came in as a judge, we used to visit. At that time, we had some program called integrity surveys. Then you could enter prisons and find the meals very bad. But these days, I think there's significant improvement. Even those who have such conditions can still survive, because these are the meals we used to eat in the villages: posho, beans. Yeah, so I'm sure they can still survive. Oh, okay. Now I'm told they even have a special diet for the sick, which is a very healthy development. You can see I'm even behind the news. So as we work with the implementation journey, we must also be guided by lessons of history. Let's make sure that these funds are properly utilized. You don't want a program to be affected by misapplication of funds. That's very dangerous. So as we get these funds, let them utilize for the purpose for which they are provided, and so that some of you do not become our visitors again. You are implementing a program and then they bring you as our visitor so to be a beneficiary of the program in prisons. So as I conclude, I call upon us all to work as a unified force. Let the police investigate with care, the DP prosecute with the heart, the judicial educate with the speed, and prisons managed with dignity. Together with the global fund support, we can prove that the Uganda criminal justice system is a place of reform, not a place of infection or hardships.